Welcome back to another episode of Trash to Treasure. This is about suspension. I'm going to be fitting this YSS rear shock and doing the Dave Moss mod to the standard fork internals. So first off, we're going to jack the bike up and get the rear wheel off the ground to give clearance to get the rear shock out. Next, you're going to remove these two screws. They're M5 Allen keys to take off the chain guard / hugger. There's one in there and one there. And then tucked away inside here is one of those little push-in plastic clips. Quite difficult to get to. And there's another one right there. Push those in and she'll come straight off. There they are there. Push them in and they pop out. So next you're going to want to remove the rear and the front shock bolts. They're M10 with N14 heads. So take this nut off here that I already pre-loosened, and then all you need to do is support the rear wheel so that you've got some slack and remove that rear bolt. After you've got the rear bolt out, remove the nut off the front bolt and you should be able to remove the front bolt quite easily. The rear wheel will drop down now that it's not connected, and you have plenty of room to pull that rear shock straight out. But you have to be aware that your swing arm will sit on your muffler like it has here on my Akrapovic muffler. So the front shock bolt is longer than the rear one. It has a bit more meat to go through on the engine casing there. So there it is here, the longer one for the front and the shorter one for the rear. Now it's time to unbox the YSS rear shock and we'll match it up with the old piece of shit. So I've already opened this box, but here we are again. We've got this packet that has the instructions and warranty stuff and a couple of stickers. Has an Allen key and a rod to adjust the tension on the spring, and it's all locked away in this vacuum sealed foam. You can get that out. A bit hard with one hand, but what do you do? And here it is next to the standard shock. As you can see, it's a way better quality than the old junker. What I do need to do though is measure it from eye to eye, because it is adjustable, and make sure it's the same as stock. Here I've got the shock installed. The front bolt I'm going to torque to 44 Newton meters, and the rear bolt gets torqued to 40 Newton meters. I always put a bit of blue Loctite on, just for a bit of peace of mind. Don't want that shit coming loose. This rod that came in the packet is to adjust the preload on the spring. So tightening it clockwise will add preload, and anti-clockwise will take preload out. So with it all installed, I got all my gear on and I set the rider sag between 20 and 35 mil according to the internet. Apparently static sag is between 0 and 5 mil. I forgot to film while I was redoing the front forks, but I installed new SKF green seals with new fork oil. I used the 20W Bellray oil according to David Moss. I'll link the YouTube video for his mod in the description. And I also modded the stock spacer to suit my weight as a rider. I cut it down to 135 millimeters. So when you redo your forks, down underneath at the bottom of your forks, when you pull the axle out, there is a bolt and it has a copper washer. When you pull that out, you'll be able to drain out the fork oil. Do not lose that copper washer. You'll need to reuse that to seal it up after when you are done. There's the new SKF seals installed, and David on his video also recommends mounting your forks protruding 8mm above the top triple clamp. So you can see here, I'm just over about 8.5mm, but that's good enough. This makes the forks quite a bit better than standard, not like a pogo stick that it was coming out of the shop. This is the fork oil that I used when I resealed the forks. It makes it a little bit thicker, helps with dampening a bit over stock, and I highly recommend David's mod. It's a very cost-effective way of getting the suspension better than the crappy performance it has from stock. Thanks for tuning in to King Brown Customs. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you liked it, like and subscribe and share it with your friends. Hang around for the next video.